Techo Kaigi video attempt. Take 2. Usually I do my videos in like one shot. Not today. There was a lot of distractions that happened in the first attempt, so we're just gonna try this over again. The main reason for that being is I use my phone to film everything. I edit on my phone. So I have to clean my phone up of video files once a week after I do the weekly vlogs. And I accidentally deleted my March Bujo setup. So there will be a flip through video of that at the end. But in the meantime, let me introduce you guys to my planners / journals that are going on. It's called Techo Kaigi. It's become all the rage apparently, I don't know. But we're gonna start with this guy. Remember him? I set this guy up at the end of 2020 for the entire year of 2022, not knowing what 2021 was gonna hold for me. And I transitioned into using a more traditional monthly bullet journal setup in October, November, and December of last year. And I actually used the blackout notebook that came with these little notebooks in the Archer and Olive Geometric Design Fall 2021 sub-box. And bujoing in these little ones is fun, but we'll get to this one in a moment. But yeah, this guy here, lesson learned. I'm still gonna have a yearly notebook for some things like my period tracker, my basal body temperature tracker, because having those next to each other so that I can correspond and see where the trend is for my period to fall, when I might be ovulating, and you know, all that jazz. Now, this beautiful little one right here. Yes. This little guy is my pattern journal now. Okay, don't step on the cord, please. No, you cannot help. You're stepping on the cord. You cannot help. Yeah, no. Go lay down. Every time. I'm using this as my pattern journal. This is where I'm writing down my crochet and knitting patterns that I'm coming back to and doing frequently, like fingerless gloves, scarves, hats, shawls, things of that nature. And the ones that I use the most frequently are going in here, and I'm probably actually going to be going through many of my crochet books and deciding whether or not I want to actually keep them. If not, they're probably going to get destashed and or donated to people who will use them. Love you too, Fiona. So that was a new journal that got added to the roster, and it is not one that I use every day. Another one that I am not using every single day is this little one right here. This was a Wish special. You cannot play with that. And I've actually taking this with us when we go into town so that I can write down things that we did, things we need to remember to do when we get home, how much X, Y, and Z cost, and I'll actually take it out once we get home and put it into my everyday Bujo as a tip-in so that I've got a record of what happened that day, because I am journaling in a B5, actually it's a little bit bigger than B5, it's a little bit wider by about 1 inch. So that's not exactly easy to take places. Another journal that I am not using frequently is this beautiful one right here. This one is a gift my husband got me for Christmas in 2019. This one is my life journal, so to speak. I journal in it about twice a year, maybe 3 times a year, just to give an update for the situations going on the homestead, for myself, what's going on with the world. And it's a lovely journal. I love it to pieces. And like I said, I use it like maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Another journal that is an infrequent use is this one. You guys remember this one popping up in the Archer and Olive December subscription boxes that was themed Northern Lights, which is my second favorite astronomical event, if not my favorite. Although with the latitude I live at here in southern Arizona, if I'm seeing Northern Lights, there's a very big problem because that kind of solar event is going to cause a lot of disruptions for everyone across the globe. I'm not probably going to be using blackout paper for my everyday Bujo ever again because I have to have special pins for it and I don't like that. But I'm using this as my collections and memories journal. And having a journal that I don't use all the time to record special things like getting to see Monument Valley finally. I know I've lived here in Arizona for like 5-6 years now and I haven't been yet. It just hasn't worked out. But this one is going to have like little postcards, and another one I have is my magical journal. I don't have a grimoire, so to speak, because a grimoire for me is where I've got all of my information, correspondences to colors and numbers and whatnot, things I use frequently in one place instead of spread out over journals, because I just haven't found a notebook that I like as my grimoire yet. So when I do find one, you guys will probably be assaulted with a stationary geek out video. Hopefully you'll forgive me for that. On to the next 2. This one is our garden journal. This one we went ahead and started this year because I realized I needed to keep track of my frosts. I needed to keep track of how many seeds I had planted, how many sprouted, how many we were able to put into the garden, keeping track of how many pounds of broccoli, how many pounds of tomatoes, and things like that. Because this year, it is my hope that I can, I know. Because this year it is my hope to be able to freeze a few pounds of broccoli and can a couple dozen jars of tomatoes. It has been a few years since I've pressure canned anything, and I'll be keeping track of garden yields in this notebook. Put that there. Yes, hello baby. Are you seriously getting jealous of me talking to the camera? No. Over here. You may not be front and center. You may be on the side. I know. So Archer and Olive still has several of these red balance covers, and I wish I could get more, but I promised my husband I was not going to buy any more notebooks until I had almost run out. So this is the house diary. The house diary is where we record things like animals added, like chickens or turkeys or goats or kuni pigs. We record when an appliance or a piece of machinery has gone down, when we got it fixed, and how much it cost. We record the first snow, when the cranes first arrive for the year and when they leave for the year, etc., etc. But major house things go into this one, and it was hilarious because when I got these and I was showing my husband, he kept eyeballing the B5 going, you know, that would make a great house diary. All right, you goober, we can use it for the house diary. Now the next one is going to be vanishing from my notebook lineup next year. This is my reading journal. So the spine has already broken a little bit. What I'm going to be doing with this reading journal later is I am going to be taking out the remainder of the pages. I'm also going to be gluing that down. I'm going to be taking out the pages that are not glued in. The Exceed brand is done with what is called a perfect binding. They stitch all of the paper together and then they put glue on it. So if I cut the strings in the signature, I can pull those pages out, but I'll still be left with 2 pages in each signature that are glued together, and that will leave me more space because I do a scrapbooky collage style of reading journal. But I've also noticed that I'm not reading fast enough to justify having a reading journal. And because of that, towards the end of the year, once I have this filled, I will be just including the books that I've read as a collection spread at the end of each month. And that's just going to work out better for me in the long run by doing that. Now, the remainder of the paper that I'm going to be taking out, I'm going to be adding and using in a different project where I'm just going to be reusing the pages to create slightly bigger than a B6 handmade journal. And I'll probably use it also as a bullet journal at some point this year or next year. But if you guys want to see this and how it got put together, be sure to tune in to my vlog this coming Monday because I will be showing everything for that. Now, this is my long form journal, and in my long form journal, I tend to junk journal it. You need to move. Go over here, young lady. Go. So I've got junk journal style pages in here, a lot of scrapbooky paper, because I noticed I was not using up my scrapbook paper as much as what I thought I would in my scrapbooks. So I've been working on utilizing it a little bit better. Now, this one only has a few pages left. And it is a paper and gear, or no, pen and gear, I'm sorry, from Walmart. And as you can see, I took out pages here because it was getting chunky. I'm actually going to be finishing that this month. I have another junk journal that I had started last year or a year before, completely forgot about it. So I'm actually, once I'm done with that one, going to be jumping into that one and finishing it. You guys will get to see that one. You may not get to see that one just because it's gnarly and it's very, very messy. And then you've got my everyday Bujo, which is in this Exceed, the larger Exceed size. I think Walmart has stopped carrying the Exceed size, at least in my area, which is a little disappointing because when I don't want to spend or can't spend, 20-something plus dollars on a Bujo from Notebook Therapy or Archer and Olive, the $8 notebooks, they come in handy. I can't do as much with them as, like, say, watercoloring and whatnot, but I don't watercolor anyways. I just use markers and stickers and washi tape and rulers and all of that jazz as it is, so I'm not missing out on anything. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 Archer and Olive journals waiting for their turn. Like I said, there's going to be the flip through of everything I did, and let's get into that right now. So, magic of editing. Okay, let's see if I can do this without jostling my camera too much. So here's March. My goals are on the back of the tip-ins from the Archer and Olive subscription box in winter. I discovered I don't like designating days on my gratitude list, but I do like having a gratitude page. So, got one. That's like the first thing. I have my hydration tracker again. Keeping track of that has definitely come in handy. I have my sleep tracker, my basal body temperature tracker. I didn't have a sleep tracker in February and I found myself missing it. So I was like, no, this has to go in. And as you can see, I've got the dates right here and they do correspond with those days there. I definitely found value in having a video page spread, and I'm definitely keeping it. This is going to be one of my permanent spreads because it helps me keep track of my vlogs and if I forgot to do a bit for a day, and it's been very nice. So here's my trackers. As you guys can see, I'm doing kind of a horizontal. It takes up less space doing it horizontally like this, and I'm probably going to keep doing my spreads like this for the rest of this journal. Got my recipe for the month, which is going to be crab ragoon, and I'm reattempting toum. For those of you who don't know what toum is a Middle Eastern garlic sauce. It's garlic, salt, a neutral oil, and lemon juice, and it's supposed to be really good, but my first attempt did not work too well. We've got projects that I have finished. I'm actually going to have my crocheting and my sewing and knitting projects on here too, along with the date that I finished them, just because I like keeping track of that. Now, I added these 2 boxes here. This is the predicted weather for the day and the actual weather for the day, because here coming up, hopefully we're going to be able to start planting the garden, and I need to keep an eye on the weather and track patterns. So, and as you can see, there are tabs for March. I missed my tabs in February. Tabs in March are a beautiful thing. Hopefully I'm not jostling the camera too badly. Oh, there we go. All right. And then I had a spare page. This is my mantra for the year. And I decided just to go ahead and have fun with this page and put my mantra in and be happy with it. My month in review. And then as you can see, I've already got my astronomy events for April in. I have my tabs in already. And the other day I went ahead and filled in all of my astronomy events in my months, just so I would have it done. I absolutely love that green gel pen that came with the subscription box as well. Now, I'm going to have more pages than I need for June, but I wasn't going to be able to fit July in here. So in the back, I've been doing some spreads just for anxiety's sake, to calm it down. And what my days typically look like. And then the next page is what I can do when my anxiety is acting up. And as you can see, I had fun with it. But I'm probably also going to be putting in a few other spreads. I'm probably going to be doing a what an ideal day looks like spread. And I might do a few more collections in here, but I will be moving out of the Exceed journals in July into hopefully one of my Archer and Olive notebooks. But I'm planning on writing down all of my notebooks that I have that are currently empty, grabbing a die or a dice or a random dice generator and rolling it. And whichever one that pops up as whichever one that the dice hits on, that's what I'm going to be using as my bullet journal for the rest of the year, or as part of the rest of the year, depending on the size of it. So in doing that, that does mean that I might end up using a lined journal, but I'm fairly certain that all of you will still enjoy seeing how someone can Bujo in a lined journal, and I will be sure to show you guys and take you guys along for that later this year. Alright guys, that is my Techo Kaigi. That is my apology for not taking you guys along while I filled in and created my March Bujo. You guys know how it can go when you're dealing with filming and all of that stuff. So I'm actually going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I hope you decide to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. You know, the typical things that a YouTuber asks of their audience. And I will catch you guys in my next vlog on Monday, which I do believe is going to be on the 28th. Holy crap, February is almost over. What the heck? And I will catch you guys next time. Take care of yourself.